So guys, the question was, how can I reduce my healthcare expenses? Is that possible? There are actually some important tips and tricks here where you can use. First and most important thing is the system of commitment, a convention system, which means that there is a convention between the health insurance funds and the health providers, all sorts of health providers, doctors, nurses, and so on, to commit with a special price for the consultation or the intervention, the medical intervention. Anyway, when you are going to visit a doctor, you have to make sure that he is committed, which means that he has signed or she has signed the convention. And committed in English and in Netherlands is geconventioneerd, and it comes from the word convention. In France it is convention, and it is also if he is committed. If he's not committed, then he's niet geconventioneerd, and then non-committed doctor, which means that he will ask you only for the specific amount of money that is agreed between the health providers and the funds, the health insurance funds. She's my wife. She's going to use the other computer. Anyway, guys, don't mention it. So, a committed or non-committed medical providers, depending on their status, medical providers may be committed or maybe not, and there is also a person who is in between. He is semi-committed, and by semi-committed we mean actually that in some cases or in some period of times, it's like, let's say Monday morning I'm committed, Monday afternoon and evening I'm not committed, Thursday or Tuesday it is the other way around. But he has to fix his hours. Means he doesn't has the right to change those committed hours whenever he wants. A committed doctor will ask you only for the official enemy tariff or rates. Let's say a non-committed will ask you for sure something higher. So, for example, if we take one example, a committed doctor, if you are going for a consultation with a general practitioner. So, for example, if you went for a general practitioner and he's committed, and he asked you for the consultation fee, which is actually it's now 26, but I'll say that's 24, something, then the reimbursement, that is an example, will be 18 euro, the same something, which means that from your own budget you have paid 6 euros. If you went to a non-committed doctor, he will ask for consultation fee, for example, 35 euro instead of 24 in that with the committed one. The reimbursement will be the same, which means that the compulsory health insurance will never reimburse you with extra amount of money. Reimbursement in the two cases, with the committed and the non-committed teacher, he is not a teacher, a doctor, will be the same, which means the extra money that went to the doctor will be paid from your own budget. A committed 24, reimbursement 18, you pay 6. Non-committed, consultation 35, reimbursement 18, you paid 16, which means 10 euro extra for each single consultation. Consider that your doctor is not committed and all of your family has fever. I don't know, it's not corona for sure. I hope so. But anyway, if you 3 or 5 members and you went to the doctor for this consultation, it will be count like five consultations, which means that you will be paying 50 euro extra, and that is a lot. Second thing, and that is something important for everybody, is the general medical record. In Dutch is the GMD, Global Medische Dossier. And in French is MDG. MDG is Medicine Global Dossier Global. So, general medical record. A general medical record it has for sure its financial part, but it is more important for its health services. Why? Because all of your sickness, drugs that you have received, or of anything that related to your health situation will be recorded directly in this record. It is your personal health record in one way or another. Follow up is insured by your care provider by this, which means that if you went for a doctor this year for this illness, and then after 1 year or a year and a half you went for the same, he will compare those two cases over those 2 or 3 years. It is created by your health provider, by your house arts, by your general practitioner, which in one way or another you are supposed to have your general practitioner. It's not obligatory, but it is highly recommended in the system of your own service provider. But you ask it voluntarily. If you don't ask it, he doesn't need to create it. How much does it cost? It costs €30 and it will be fully 100% reimbursed. Anyway, the GMR or the GMD in Dutch, the Global Medical Record, has actually also its financial benefits, which means the total amount of reimbursement will be increased. If we go back to the example we explained, the amount of the reimbursement was supposed to be 18 euro in both cases, if he's committed or not. In this case, the reimbursement will be increased with €1 extra. A third trick to try to reduce your, may you allow me to drink some coffee? To reduce your medical expenses, to be enrolled actually by one of the medical health centers, Maison Médicale in French, in Brussels. So we have a sort of medical health centers where they provide you with some important health services. Enrollment by those medical health care centers is for free. Sometimes they ask for €10 per year, but it is not a big deal. They have general practitioners. They have also physiotherapists, and they have nurses, and they have other services. If you are enrolled with them, it means that you have directly committed doctor, and you have also created directly medical global dossier. Do they have other services extra to the general practitioner, physiotherapist, and nurses? Maybe yes. Some of them they have dentists, for example. Some of them they have other services, but those are the 3 main services that must be exist in the medical health centers. By the medical health sisters is not sisters, centers. Who is saying sisters? Free medical treatment offered by 3 of them. You don't need to pay any single euro for them. It's not only reimbursement, but no, it is fully reimbursed. You don't need to pay any single euro for your health expenses. For the general practitioner, for the physiotherapist, and for the nurses. However, It is important that if you are a member in a health care center, that you are not going to do any consultation with external doctors. You must be with them. Is one of the let's say disadvantages, but still if it is a case of emergency, if you got sick, for example, while you are in another city on vacation, you still can go to an external doctor. You don't need to leave to break your vacation, for example, in Ostend and come back to Brussels to be treated. No, you can do it there. But in general cases, health center members must agree to only consult care providers affiliated with their health center. So you don't need it's not allowed to go for external health provider. For sure, if this service exists in that center. If it doesn't exist, for sure you can go outside. A condition for registration for the medical health centers, persons must be actually living within the center, the area of the center. So if you are living, for example, in Molenbeek, you have to register yourself with the health center, medical health center in Molenbeek, not in other city. Also, person must sign the registration form. That's normally you need to fill it and to sign it and to submit it for them. And also at the same time, person must be member of a mutuality fund, which means at first you have to be member in a mutuality and then to register yourself by a medical health center. The fourth thing is that person must pay the annual patient contribution, typically not charged on salary. So it's a few amount of money. If you want to more information, I'll give you a website, but it's only unfortunately it's only in French. The third trick to reduce your medical expenses is actually the generics, which means generics medication or non-generic medication. So a brand, if a company has produced a medication for something, so they have the right to keep producing it for 20 years. After this period, other company may produce the same drug. During this period, they are not allowed. This drug is called the non-generic. And then the other drug that is produced by the other companies is the generic drug. And in this case, the generic has for sure the same, for sure a different name, but with the same quality. There is no difference with the differences regarding the quality. Anyway, normally the price is the difference. The price is actually 30% less. But it's not here only. The reimbursement system gives extra money for the generic medications. An example, a drug that, for example, for the non-generic cost 22 euros. If it is generic, it will cost 12 euro. Anyway, reimbursement for the non-generic will be 16, and reimbursement for the generic will be 9, which means in case if it is generic, you pay from yourself, from your own budget, 6 euro. The other case, you pay only something around 3 euros. Again, 22 is the price, reimbursement 16, you pay 6. 12 is the price, you pay, reimbursement is almost 10, and then the reimbursement is actually you pay for from your own pocket around 3 euros.